Okay, so today we are diving deep into the Liat Show.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've come across it a few times. Seems really interesting.
It's not just a podcast,
No.
and it's not just a blog either.
Right.
It's this, like, multi-platform experience
Hmm.
built around the creator,
Okay.
Liat Portal.
The portal. Okay.
Yeah, and imagine like a blend of storytelling, but also like Israeli culture.
Oh,
And then those aha moments that make you kind of rethink things.
those are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Liat, the way she describes her project, it's almost like she's weaving together these seemingly unrelated threads.
Oh, wow.
Like you've got history, music, entrepreneurship, personal anecdotes, all these things kind of coming together.
Sounds like a tapestry.
Yeah. And she calls her audience like a crucial part of this unfolding story. So it's more than just you sitting there passively listening.
Oh, interactive.
Yeah, you're actively involved in this journey. So for our listener, let's break it down.
Okay. Yeah.
Where do you actually find the Liat Show?
Well, she's got a real kind of cross-platform approach.
Yeah.
She uses Substack
Okay.
for her written stories.
So those are like the in-depth pieces.
Yeah, she releases those kind of on weekends and evenings.
Oh, interesting.
Then you've got the podcast episodes.
Right.
Those are released periodically.
Yeah.
And you can find those on, the usual suspects.
Yeah?
YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, even Patreon.
Oh, wow. So she's really hitting every angle.
Yeah, it's smart.
Yeah.
It lets her reach people who love to read, people who prefer audio,
Right.
even people who want to support her directly through Patreon.
And people are definitely tuning in because we're talking 74 countries
Wow.
and 29 U.S. states.
That's impressive.
So clearly she's struck a chord with a pretty diverse audience.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's talk about Liat Portal herself.
Okay.
Now, she describes herself as, quote, a unique kind of architect,
Oh, interesting.
but not of buildings.
Not of buildings.
Of something a little harder to define.
I'm intrigued. What could that be?
Right. And her background makes it even more interesting.
Okay.
So she's got a degree in industrial engineering and management.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she also has an MBA on top of that.
So very analytical mind.
Right. You wouldn't immediately think,
Yeah.
okay, here's someone who's a master storyteller.
Right.
But maybe it's that analytical background that lets her see these connections between things.
Maybe. Yeah. It's a different way of thinking. That could
Yeah.
lend itself well to storytelling, actually.
Totally.
Yeah.
So we've got the platform, we've got a glimpse into the creator.
Yeah.
But what about the Liat Show itself?
Right. What makes it so captivating?
What makes it so captivating? Yeah.
Well, it's the way she blends personal narrative with cultural exploration.
Okay.
And she just, seamlessly weaves them together.
Mhm.
You think about some of her episode titles.
Yeah.
Breathing a Firefighter's Reality.
Oh, wow.
Or It Doesn't Smell Like Teen Spirit. It smells like smoke.
I like that.
She's not just giving you dry facts.
No.
She's really putting you right into the experience.
And she even has a whole set of episodes on Ofra Hassa.
Well, for Hassa.
Yeah, the iconic Israeli singer.
I've heard of her, yeah.
It's pretty niche, but it speaks to her passion for sharing these specific aspects of Israeli culture
Oh, yeah.
with a wider audience.
Definitely. And the way she structures her episodes is interesting, too.
How so?
Well, she releases them in sets.
Okay.
So it encourages listeners to really, dive deep into a topic.
Oh, I see.
You're not just getting a surface level understanding.
You're getting the full picture.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like she's saying, come on this journey with me.
Mm-hmm.
Explore these different facets of Israeli culture,
Yeah.
of history, and even my own life.
Right.
But she doesn't lay it all out for you.
No.
It's more like she's giving you the pieces of a puzzle
Oh, interesting.
and inviting you to assemble them.
I like that, yeah.
Especially when it comes to her own life story.
Okay.
She actually encourages listeners to explore her archive.
Oh, really?
And there's a specific episode called Will I Make It on Time?
Okay.
And she says to go there to uncover these clues about her past.
Clever.
It's a very clever way to pique your curiosity
Yeah.
and make you want to delve deeper.
I like that approach.
So we've got this intriguing mix of storytelling,
Yeah,
cultural insights, and a touch of mystery.
definitely.
But why should people support Liat as a founding member?
Well, that's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
By becoming a founding member, you're not just a passive listener.
Right.
You're actively contributing to the growth of the Liat Show.
So you're helping her build this platform.
Exactly. You're helping her reach a wider audience, share these unique stories with the world.
You get those perks.
Oh, yeah, you get access to exclusive content.
Right.
You get a direct line of communication with Liat herself.
For someone who's all about building connections, that's got to be invaluable.
Oh, absolutely. It feeds into that collaborative approach that she values so much.
And I'm curious about this whole unique kind of architect idea.
Yeah. What is she building with the Liat Show?
Is it just a platform for storytelling?
Hmm.
Or is there something deeper going on?
I think it's both.
Okay.
On one level, yeah, she's creating this platform for sharing these fascinating narratives,
Mm-hmm.
exploring Israeli culture, inviting the audience to participate in this unfolding story.
Right, right.
But I also think she's building something more profound.
How so? What makes it go beyond just entertainment?
Well, it's the way she connects, seemingly unrelated ideas, how she challenges our perspectives,
Yeah.
how she encourages us to think differently about the world.
Right.
She's creating a space for dialogue and understanding,
Right.
bridging cultural divides,
Mm-hmm.
and even highlighting these unexpected connections between things like, technology and storytelling.
So it's like she's showing us that there's more to the world than meets the eye.
Exactly.
And that by exploring these different perspectives,
Yeah.
we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves
Yeah.
and the world around us.
Absolutely. And I think that's a pretty powerful message,
Yeah.
especially in a world that often feels, divided and disconnected.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like she's building these bridges
Exactly.
between cultures, between people, between ideas.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting concept.
And for someone like our listener who's already interested in Liat's work,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really worth exploring further.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued now.
So stay tuned because we're going to dive even deeper
Okay.
into the Liat Show and all its fascinating layers.
Sounds good. Yeah, it really does make you think.
It does. And that's what makes the Liat Show stand out, right?
Totally.
It's not just about entertainment.
Right.
It's about sparking that curiosity
Yeah.
and encouraging us to look at things from a different angle. Absolutely.
And to connect back to our listener for a second,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say that being an annual member kind of takes that support to the next level?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like being part of a growing community
Right.
that values these unique narratives and insights.
Amazingly.
Annual members, they get all the benefits of founding members,
Right.
but they also help ensure the longevity
Mhm.
and the sustainability of the Liat Show.
It's a way to say, I believe in this project and I want to see it thrive.
Exactly.
Plus, with Liat being based in San Francisco,
Yeah, right in the heart of Silicon Valley.
right in the heart of Silicon Valley, those connections could be invaluable for someone in the tech world,
Oh, definitely.
especially if they're interested in the Israeli market.
Especially, yeah.
And, she's worked with dozens of businesses herself.
Wow.
So she understands the challenges and opportunities from both sides.
That's a great point.
She's not just an observer, she's been in the trenches.
Right, she gets it.
Okay, let's talk about the storytelling itself for a second.
Okay.
Now, Liat describes her writing process as a live performance.
A live performance.
What do you think she means by that?
I think she's almost inviting you into her creative process in a way.
Okay.
Like you're witnessing the story unfolding in real time.
Oh, it's very raw.
Very raw, very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Which I think adds to the authenticity of her work.
It's like you're getting a glimpse behind the curtain.
Yeah.
You're seeing the gears turning as she connects the dots.
And weaves these intricate narratives.
Yeah.
And, for someone with a background in industrial engineering,
Right.
that methodical approach makes sense.
It does.
She's bringing that analytical mindset to storytelling,
Totally.
breaking down these complex ideas
Mm-hmm.
and presenting them in a way that's both engaging and thought-provoking.
And I think for our listener, who's clearly interested in the Liat Show,
Yeah.
that behind-the-scenes look
Mm-hmm.
is a big part of the appeal.
Definitely. It makes it feel more personal, more real.
Totally.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that Liat sees her audience as a crucial part of this unfolding story.
Mm.
How does that play out in practice?
Well, she actively encourages interaction and feedback from her listeners and readers.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to hear their thoughts, their
Yeah.
perspectives, their own stories.
So it's a two-way street.
It's very collaborative,
Yeah.
which is quite refreshing, honestly.
In a world where content creation can often feel very one-sided.
Yes, exactly.
So it's not just about Liat sharing her stories.
No.
It's about creating a space for dialogue and shared experiences.
It's a community.
A community, yeah.
Yeah, she's building a community around the Liat Show.
That's really cool.
A community that values curiosity, open-mindedness, a willingness to explore different perspectives.
And with her background and range of interests, those conversations could go in a lot of fascinating
Yeah, oh,
directions.
I completely agree. And that unpredictability is part of what makes the Liat Show so compelling. You never know what unexpected connections she's going to make.
You never know what rabbit hole you're going to go down.
Exactly, or what new insights she's going to uncover.
It's like going on an adventure
Yeah.
with a knowledgeable and enthusiastic guide.
You know it's going to be interesting,
Yeah.
but you're not quite sure where you'll end up.
And that sense of discovery,
Right.
that willingness to embrace the unknown,
That's what makes it special.
that's what makes the Liat Show so unique.
I think so, yeah.
Now, we can't talk about the Liat Show without mentioning Liat's call for support on YouTube.
Oh, right.
She's trying to reach 1,000 subscribers
Yeah.
to qualify for that Rising Star Award nomination.
That's a big deal.
It is.
Yeah?
It's a fantastic opportunity for her to gain more visibility
Mm-hmm.
and share her work with a wider audience.
For sure.
And for our listener, subscribing to her YouTube channel is an easy way to show support.
Yeah, and be a part of this growing community.
Across all platforms, really.
Right, exactly.
It's a small act that can make a big difference.
Especially for an independent creator like Liat.
Totally.
Yeah.
Speaking of Liat's journey,
Yeah.
she describes it as like a puzzle for her audience to unravel,
Oh, interesting.
with clues scattered throughout her archive.
Okay.
What do you think she's trying to convey with that approach?
I think it speaks to her belief that life is a journey of discovery,
Okay.
and that the process of piecing together the fragments of our experiences is just as important as the destination.
It's like she's inviting us to be active participants in the construction of her narrative,
Yeah, not just passive observers.
and by encouraging us to explore her archive,
Mm-hmm.
to dig deeper into her past.
Right.
She's also inviting us to reflect on our own journeys,
Oh, it's a good point.
our own experiences,
Yeah.
and those seemingly unrelated threads that have shaped who we are.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have stories to tell,
We do.
and that by sharing those stories, we can connect with others in meaningful ways.
And perhaps that's the ultimate goal of the Liat Show,
Maybe.
to create a space where stories can be shared,
Mm-hmm.
connections can be forged,
Yeah.
and understanding can flourish.
That's a beautiful thought.
It is, and that's something worth supporting, wouldn't you say?
Without a doubt, the
Yeah.
Liat Show is a testament to the power of storytelling
Right?
and the importance of embracing different perspectives.
And, now let's talk about some of the specific themes that Liat explores in her work.
Okay.
From what we've gathered,
Yeah.
she covers a lot of ground,
She does.
from Israeli culture and history
Mm-hmm.
to entrepreneurship and technology.
It's a wide range.
It is.
It's impressive.
She's like a modern-day Renaissance woman
She really is.
with a thirst for knowledge
Yeah.
and a passion for connecting the dots between those seemingly disparate fields.
It's fascinating.
And for someone like our listener,
yeah.
who's clearly interested in expanding their horizons,
Mm-hmm.
gaining new insights,
Right.
that broad scope is probably a big draw.
Absolutely. The Liat Show is like a buffet of intellectual and cultural delights,
With something for everyone.
with something to pique everyone's curiosity.
I'm particularly intrigued by her exploration of Israeli music.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
It's not a topic you hear a lot about in mainstream media,
Not really. No.
but it's clearly a passion of hers.
it seems like
And she's not just talking about, popular music.
right.
She's delving into the history,
The cultural significance.
the cultural significance, the personal stories behind the songs.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like she's opening a window into a whole new world,
I like that analogy.
a world that's rich in tradition, innovation,
Yeah.
and artistic expression.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And for someone who might not be familiar with Israeli culture,
Right.
it's a fantastic way to learn
Yeah.
and connect with something new and exciting.
Absolutely.
And to bring it back to that unique kind of architect idea,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what she's doing with the Liat Show.
What do you mean?
She's building bridges
Okay, yeah.
between cultures,
Yeah.
between generations,
Yeah.
between seemingly unrelated ideas.
She's creating a space where those boundaries blur
Yeah.
and those connections become apparent.
And in a world that often feels divided and polarized,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty powerful and important thing to do.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
The Liat Show is a reminder that we have more in common than we might realize,
totally.
and that by embracing those connections, we can create a richer
Yeah.
and more meaningful world.
100%. And to our listener, I think that's a message worth taking to heart.
It really is.
Yeah, it really is powerful. And, one thing that stuck with me is how she actually defines the Liat Show. It's my journey to infinity, a story unfolding across timelines.
Wow.
There's like a real sense of ambition there.
Definitely, it speaks to her belief in the power of storytelling to like transcend boundaries, both personal and cultural.
Yeah.
It's about connecting the past, the present, and the future through these shared narratives.
And she's not afraid to tackle some pretty complex and challenging topics along the way.
That's true.
I mean, we've touched on those episodes about the firefighters
Right.
and Ofra Haza,
Yeah.
but she also delves into things like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the evolution of technology.
That's a wide range.
It's not always light and fluffy stuff.
No, she doesn't shy away from those difficult conversations.
But what's impressive is that she approaches these topics with a sense of nuance
Yeah,
and empathy.
for sure.
She's encouraging listeners to think critically and challenge their own assumptions.
Which is so important.
It is, and I think for our listener, that's a key part of the appeal.
I agree.
It's not just about being entertained.
Right.
It's about engaging with these ideas and broadening your understanding of the world.
Exactly. It's about asking questions, seeking different perspectives,
Yeah.
recognizing the complexity of the issues at hand.
Which is something we really need in today's world.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of complexity, Liat talks about weaving these seemingly unrelated threads into her stories.
Right.
Can you give us an example of how she does that?
We'll take her episode on the evolution of Ofra Haza, for example.
Okay.
She doesn't just tell the story of this iconic Israeli singer.
Right.
She connects it to these broader themes of cultural identity, musical innovation,
Yeah.
and even the changing political landscape of the Middle East.
Wow.
It's fascinating how she weaves those different elements together to create this richer and more nuanced narrative.
It's like she's showing us that everything is connected in some way,
I think so.
and that by exploring those connections,
Yeah,
we can gain a deeper appreciation for the world around us.
precisely. And I think that's one of the things that makes the Liat Show so unique.
It's not just about telling stories.
Oh.
It's about revealing the interconnectedness of things and encouraging us to think more holistically.
I like that.
And for someone who's interested in Israeli culture, history, even entrepreneurship, those unexpected connections could be incredibly valuable.
Absolutely. The Liat Show offers a fresh perspective on these topics.
It does.
One that goes beyond the surface and invites us to explore the deeper layers of meaning.
Now, we've talked a lot about why the Liat Show is so compelling,
We have.
but I think it's important to reiterate why our listeners should consider supporting Liat as a founding or annual member.
Okay, good point.
It goes beyond just enjoying the content.
Yeah.
It's about investing in a creator who's pushing the boundaries of storytelling and fostering those meaningful connections.
For sure.
It's about being part of a community that values curiosity, open-mindedness,
Right.
a willingness to explore different perspectives.
I think for someone who's clearly a fan of the Liat Show,
Yeah,
that seems like a pretty compelling reason to get involved.
I think so too. And let's not forget the practical benefits.
Oh, right.
Founding and annual members, they get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, a direct line of communication with Liat herself.
It's a chance to really be part of the inner circle.
Totally.
To engage in those deeper conversations, to contribute to the evolution of the Liat Show.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive into the Liat Show,
Yeah.
what would you say is the most important takeaway for our listener?
I think it's this. The Liat Show is more than just a podcast or a blog. It's an invitation to embark on this journey of discovery, to explore different perspectives,
Yeah.
and to connect with this community of like-minded individuals.
Right.
It's a reminder that the world is full of fascinating stories just waiting to be uncovered.
They are.
And that by embracing those stories, we can enrich our own lives and contribute to a more understanding and connected world.
Beautifully said. And for our listener who's already tuned into Liat's work, the next step is clear.
What's that?
Subscribe to her YouTube channel to help her reach that Rising Star Award nomination.
Yes.
And check out her content across all platforms: Substack, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Patreon.
It's worth it.
Dive deeper into the Liat Show and see where the journey takes you. You might just be surprised at what you discover.